as a last kind of animation exercise, let's animate our modal. So we have it rendering now. Let's actually go and animate this. First, let's go and commit this stuff. So this is all the heavy, heavy styled component stuff. So we're just going to commit this, and let's just say styled components commit messages. Okay, so first we need to install React Spring. So npm I React Spring. And inside of index, we're going to set some state here. So we already have use state, so let's do show modal, and let's do set show modal. So by default, we don't want it to be showing. Oh, wow, I just deleted our state. Let's not do that. Let's create a second state. Show modal, set show modal. Use state, false. So let's create just a third button, similarly to our dark theme, our default theme. Copy and paste one of those. On click though, this is going to be set show modal, and let's just toggle our state, so show modal, whatever the opposite is. So toggle modal. Okay. So we have our sign up modal here. Our sign up modal needs to know whether or not to be shown. So let's pass some state. So we've got our show modal state that we just made, and we need our event handler, or a state updater. So set show modal. Set show modal. Okay, so now we have those two pieces of state that we're passing along. And if we go back to our modal here, let's destructure these out. So we have our two pieces of state that we're now pulling out of our sign up modal. That's why we had these curly braces here earlier. You don't need curly braces if you're just returning JSX, but I knew we were going to add some animations. So first thing we need to do is import some things from React Spring. So import, we're just going to use Spring, and we're going to need that animated. Next, we're going to define our animation. So const animation. It's going to be very similar to kind of what we just did, right? So if our modal is being shown, we want it to be visible. Otherwise, we don't want it to be shown at all. We want it to be transparent, so it'll fade in and out. And then transform. So this will have it slide in and slide out. So if modal is visible, we want it to fall into its natural place. Otherwise, I'm going to animate this out negative 200% just to make sure it really gets off the screen, but this is a little bit excessive. You might not need negative 200%. And then the last thing is we need to actually tell React Spring this is what's being animated. And so what I'm going to do is actually wrap this in an animated.div here. Now, again, this is not fully accessible. You would need to add some ARIA attributes on here to make this fully accessible, but this is what we're working with for right now. So technically, if I go back, this should be working now. So what's going on here? Oh, yeah. Animation. Did I spell something wrong? Is assigned a value and never. You know, does anyone know what my problem is? What is it, Brent?
You have not set the animation on your animated.div.
Perfect. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, I need to pass that as a style attribute.
I got one. Yay.
Yay. Cool. It's really fast, right? That's really fast. So one thing React Spring comes with is a configuration. I just want to show you this, React Spring. If you go to their website, they have this fun little tool where you can actually play around with the tension and the mass of your animations. Since it's all physics-based, it's all like mass and tension and all that stuff. I don't know where on the page it is, so we're not going to mess around, but it does come with a configuration. And so what I can do is we can pass this config option here and say, I want to slow this down. Let's give it something really crazy, molasses. That looks ridiculous. You should never animate a modal this slowly, but it can show you that they do come, like we could just set this to slow, for example, and it's a little bit nicer. So the longer distance that you're animating something, the longer duration it has to have. Otherwise, it's just like way too much.